Another full slate of games scheduled for Week 4 in high school football around the area. Taft, which of these looks most intriguing to you?
I like that Liberty Chancellor contest. I mean, you have Chancellor at 2-1, Liberty at 1-1. Liberty's traditionally a very strong team, and they'll provide another test for Chancellor.
Yeah, especially it's a 4A East matchup, of course. That's, it's an important game. I think anytime you get those regional games like that, it's a big one. Yeah.
It seems like every week Chancellor's playing a team that provides an intriguing matchup, and this is another one.
I really like where Chancellor has gone so far this season. I said before the season started I thought that they were going to upset some folks. Justin said it's not going to be an upset, and I'm going to agree with Justin now. I think that this team deserves to be where it is. They are in my personal top 5, by the way. I know that we won't quite reveal what the top 5 will be, but I have voted for them in the top 5. I think that they are very impressive. And I am curious to see how they're going to face fair against
It must have been you that Bob Oliver was talking about when he said that somebody said they could upset some people. So he told me they were on a mission to check off an upset each week in their box. So.
Mark Coleman bleeds Chancellor Red, I'm
told. It must have been you providing the bulletin board.
Well, perhaps. Why not? Why not? Some other good games, though, Justin. What do you like?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of them that you look at and go, oh, that's a pretty interesting game. I think Louisa and King George are two sort of similarly styled teams. I think Rappahannock and W&L down in the 1A, 2A level, and Sussex and Colonial Beach and Spotsy and Orange. I really like JM and Petersburg. If you saw this game last year, Petersburg is a team with a heck of a lot of athletes. They really gave JM a really, really good game last year. I think this will be another good test. Petersburg is, of course, 2-0 this year. JM is 2-1. With the loss being Dinwiddie. I think this is a really good test. Jackets going on the road for another long drive. Yeah. They've been to Dinwiddie, now they're going to Petersburg. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where else they could go. Maybe Brunswick? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe Brunswick. Yeah, they might as well set up shop down there.
Yeah. That'll be a good test for JM. I'm very curious to see how that one's going to play out as well. But you haven't mentioned what I think is going to be the game of the week this week. We've got two undefeated teams from Stafford County, Colonial Forge and Mountain View. They're going to get it on.
Well, I think a Mountain View fan or player is going to sort of balk at me for saying this. Mountain View's not played the schedule Colonial Forge has. And I think that right now, the Mountain View is 3-0. You look at the teams they've played and you go, yeah, should win those games. But they're 3-0, and there's a lot of teams that sure like to be 3-0. And you go into this game with Forge, I think, with a real chance. Tweedy and Collis and Kofi, right?
Yeah, so big chance for them to make a statement. I mean, a lot of people look at it like you just said, you're 3-0, but who have you played? I mean, you do look at Freedom, and they're 2-1. Surprisingly, that was the first team Mountain View played. But at the same time, people do look at their schedule and think it's not that impressive. So this is an awesome opportunity for Mountain View to go out and prove themselves.
Yeah, they could shock some folks. And I think this game is going to be tight. Colonial Forge is not really outside of Stafford. They've played a couple of very close games. They've won, but they haven't been blowing the high competition away.
And I think if you're Mountain View and you're measuring yourself against 6A Colonial Forge, you certainly want to win. Don't misunderstand me. But I think you're going to go in there and make sure that you're in the game and you're competitive and you're battling. And I think if you're battling against Colonial Forge, you're battling to the end of the season for Mountain View. And Mountain View looks like a good playoff team. I think this is a good measuring stick game for Mountain View.
A good chance to see where teams are. It's as we mentioned at the front. At this point of the season, we have a pretty good sense of where they are. But there are still chances to change your stripes, I suppose.
Nobody's fate is written in stone yet. Not yet.
There's still a lot left to be determined, and I hope that you're able to catch one of the great high school football matchups from around the area this weekend.